lyrics from my big fat stick. The stick is real thick, call me Easy Mo Vic. But this big can't be flipped like a lighter to a joint. I'm easy, not wide to get the point. In other words, the mo ain't a joke. And something like the trumpet, I'm jumping over difficult folk. Miles is the style of the hip-hop bugle, not your ordinary, or even Chattanooga, the train that goes choo-choo, like Norton saying Lulu. The horn cast spells like some witch doctor's food. The notes from his trumpet makes ladies get freaky like sex. Reach your climax, what's next? Two hunky dories that tickle your fancy, not in your panties, but up in your mind, that's where we stand, see? That's where you shoot for the need of a chance to be part of the Easy Mo beat, and Mom didn't Spanish. Yeah. Know what I mean? Another word, for your mind one time. Yeah, stop. Take it hard.
Man, that Miles Davis, I love this album, man. This is one of the best albums. I love this album. This take me back, man. In fact, there was a song he did, Doo-Bop. That was my song right there. That was this song. And I think that's Mo Preem rapping on it. Mo Preem is Tupac brother. But this man, I used to love this damn album here. This is a nice ass album. Go check it out on Spotify. Miles Davis, Doo-Bop. I wore this out back in the day. All right. Yeah, what's up, Ricky? Let me know if you want to come in, man. Let me know. I think you probably would like this subject, what I'm about to cover. Guys, what I'm about to cover today is something that I think you guys would find interesting. We're going to talk about your rights and why they're important. That's just that, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to cover our rights, Bill of Rights. We're going to talk about it. Probably won't get that many people watching this video. But I want to talk about this because this, a lot of people don't understand, man. You have to be very vigilant about your freedoms. And oftentimes I see Black people in many a situation willing to give up their freedoms. And when you talk about the freedoms, like let me go over here for a second. So listen, Nick, I'm gonna misspell it like a mug. There it is, I got it. Niccolo Machiavelli, right? He wrote a book called The Prince. This book right here, 1532, he wrote it. But this book, let me see if I can click on it. Anyway, you know, if you watching Marvel's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when they went to get the guy out of prison that set them up for Civil War, that guy, I forget his name, Nemo or whatever his name, that guy, he was reading Machiavelli. Like a lot of times when you start talking about the political arena, you have to be willing to think from a position of, you know, basically how they operate. That's number one. And what you want to do, once you understand, this is just my personal opinion. What's up, Nikori? This is my personal opinion. Once you understand that how they operate is based on certain, you know, political strategies and how they think, then you can protect your freedoms. You get what I'm saying? Now, why am I saying all this? What do you mean? What you talking about, man? One of the rules of Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince, one of the things he talked about was never empower. Now, I'm kind of, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find. Never empower your constituents. Never. And the reason he said never empower your constituents, he said, give them just a little something, but never so much where they don't need you. See, this is what leads people to being conservative or even libertarian if you're not going to be conservative. But this is what leads you. Once you understand how these people think and how they operate, then you can deal with these people. When I'm talking about these people, I'm talking about politicians and people that will take your freedoms, right? Now, a lot of us don't value our freedoms, and I'm definitely going to get into that because I'm going to go into the Bill of Rights, and I'm just going to go down a few of these amendments. A lot of them got to do with like being a criminal and right to fair trial and all that. You know, mine is one of my favorites is the 8th Amendment, which is what is it? Excessive bail, fines, and cruel and unusual punishment. Now, this is my thing. When you are stopped in a municipality and a municipality writes out in one stop 3 tickets that total 10%. Actually, if I was a guy making, let's say, minimum wage per year, I make $15,000, let's say, roughly. You telling me, and that's if I work 40 hours a week. Okay, let me give you the link. I'm gonna send you the link. If you make $15,000, let me copy. I'm gonna email it to you, Ricky. If you make $40,000 a year, not even 40, if you make $15,000 a year, and then they hit you in one stop for 33% of your gross in a stop, that's cruel and unusual punishment. I don't give a damn what nobody said. And these fines should be able to be worked off in 2 weeks per ticket at the most, 2 weeks pay. So a ticket shouldn't run no more about $500 to $600, worst case. And that's for the worst of the worst ticket, right? That's my main issue with this right here is we're not being protected with cruel and unusual punishment because we don't think of fines. A cruel fine, an excessive fine is $5,000 or $3,800. I'm sorry, in one stop because you need some money, so you gonna hit the people for $1,700 for driving while spending $900, $800 for 2 other tickets in that. I mean, come on, man. That's what they did. And so let me go right here, man. Let me go back and talk about Niccolo Machiavelli. Like I said, when you talk about Washington, when you go to Washington, they have statues of this guy, man. And the reason I talk to black people about this, we don't really think this stuff through. Guys, Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince, when he wrote that, he was talking about literally how to gain power and keep it. Okay? This is why I say they have been studying this shit for thousands of years. I don't know why we don't understand it. If you don't see the game being played on you, you will be fucked. That's just the bottom line, right? This virus, I gotta be careful what I say, or they'll probably damn near delete my channel for saying this shit. This virus was a power grab. You guys don't understand that shit, man. There's a certain way that I ain't gonna say y'all don't understand. I'm sure y'all do, but there's a certain way that people operate that want to take power. Guys, I don't even raise money, man. I ain't even like to. Thanks for asking. I don't raise money. I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't rich, but I don't need it. I ain't trying to be on here. I just come and watch the video. Just support it, man. Keep checking and see if they unsubscribe your ass. Because I got to deal with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing people. I got people calling me, emailing me every other day talking about, damn, man, I subscribed. Come back to the channel. I'm still unsubscribed. Like this just, they shadow banning my channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing little shit, going on other people's channels, trying to get subscribers and shit, and they still fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm growing, but it's slow. Like it's real slow and incremental. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, let me go back to what I was saying. So if you don't understand how politicians operate, you are doomed to lose your freedoms. And so as black people, we need to be vigilant of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hit the link. I emailed it to you, Rick. To the Patriot email, I think I sent it to that one. But that's the thing. Like black folks, I think a lot of times because we hate the Constitution, and I'm gonna get into that too. we hate the Constitution, this and that. It ain't about hating the fact that you were 3/5 of man. Because obviously, that's the thing. Like, I see people kind of try to play straddle the fence with these issues, and they say, well, I mean, shit, we wasn't even considered a human being when they first started. We was 3/5 of man. Let me explain something to you guys. If they had given you the full, and I'm sure a lot of my people that are watching this video already know this, but I have to say this for somebody that probably hasn't heard this. They gave you the 3/5 clause because what they were trying to do was say, hey, we want to count our slaves in the South as citizens so that they can have more people in Congress to keep your ass enslaved. That's what the fuck it was, bro. So you can't just say, well, yeah, I wasn't a man. Well, that point in a vacuum makes sense in a vacuum away from any context. But then when you start applying it to what was going on at the time, you see why they did that shit. Why they said 3/5. It was actually a protection mechanism because shit, they had more of us in the South, and had they counted us too, there would be more Southern representatives in Congress, in the Senate, and stuff like that, and they would have been able to keep a stronghold on slavery and shit like that. Because some of the founding fathers literally thought slavery was wrong. I know a lot of us think, man, like, yeah, some of them actually didn't own slaves and really thought that shit was fucked up. Some of them did. They don't mean they thought we were the equal, but sure, they probably might have still been racist. But Ricky, I had you muted, bro. I let you on. You was muted. So that being said, I just want you guys to understand this, man. Power and how to operate. This guy wrote the textbook for that shit. He really did. And that's why you always see in movies and shit, people mention Machiavelli, or they'll say that was rather Machiavellian of you. What they're talking about is you, hold on. Ricky, I had you on. I just had you muted. You hear me, Ricky?
I hear you. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had you muted. But I heard you the first time you got on. But anyway, like when you talk about power and you're talking about obtaining power, you got to understand, man, your rights. When they wrote the Constitution, you really got to go into Thomas Jefferson, and I think it's not Alexander Hamilton, James Madison. I think that's his name. Anyway, these two guys, when you look at certain points in there, like for example, the First Amendment says that the government should make no laws governing religion or something like that. What they're saying is they think that, well, people have misinterpreted that to mean you can't even say Merry Christmas because it's unconstitutional bullshit, right? But what I'm saying is, the thing is, guys, the reason he did that, if you go back historically and you look at the Holy Roman Empire, you look at the state religion, like the Anglican Church and all that, they saw all the dirt that was done through the marrying of government and religion. So the first thing they did was say that government shall not govern it. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing they did. They made sure that the government couldn't govern that. And so it's just certain little things, like, there was a time the Holy Roman Empire, I think the Pope was sitting outside in the snow asking for forgiveness from a certain king. And then there was one time where the king sat out in the snow because he was seen as having lost, what was it? I don't call it the mandate of heaven. I think they did. I don't know. They may have. I know that's our Asian thing. But anyway, he was seen as having lost that. So he said, and this was what went on for a few times. They had all types of crazy shit going on, man. People speaking through tubes and shit, trying to act like they sound like God. I mean, it was a bunch of crazy dirt going on with politics, with the religion. So they separated. That's the first thing they did, right? And then, these people, I mean, this guy had already been around. They had already understood this. What was going on? Them people was taking these principles from people like Niccolo Machiavelli and applying them. They was getting people set up to be killed if they feared them, right? They did all types of dirty little shit, man, underhanded shit. And one point in here that I want people to remember, Niccolo Machiavelli had in The Prince, there was a way that seems right and moral and just and upright, and there is what actually is. And Niccolo Machiavelli said, if you go through life trying to live on what is right and unjust, you know what I'm saying? If you try to live on what is right and just and not on what actually is on the ground, you will come to ruin. And basically what he's saying is you can have these ideals about right and wrong all you want to, what's right. If you're not aware of what is actually going on the ground as it is in real time, then you will come to ruin. You will be messed up. Mr. Punisher, you trying to troll me, but you're not going to get me upset, fam. You're not. You're not. Fuck all these history lessons. So he said, so what should black people do in 2021? Fuck the past. Well, see, that therein is the ignorance of black folks. Because a lot of times what happens, we say, fuck, we don't study history. We don't like shit like this. We don't. This shit is boring. Now motherfuckers gonna click on this video and man, he ain't talking about shit. I'm gonna get off. Wait till he talking about dating or something. I'm gonna wait till he talking about beef. He's talking about other YouTubers. Then I'm gonna come on there. That's when I want to watch it. But I don't want to watch when he talking about my freedoms and man, fuck that shit. See that's why we go to folly, people. You know what I'm saying? Because those who fail to learn from the past are what class? Doomed to repeat it, right?
We have to repeat it.
Yeah. So you gotta learn from this shit, man. You gotta learn the game. This is the damn playbook right here, fam. I'm giving you. You don't know that shit. So first thing black folks get fucked over with is not understanding power. And when you don't understand power, they got your ass. They got you. See, I look, I remember this damn COVID shit. Because see, this is the reason I want to do this video, because COVID has really put fear in people. And a lot of people are willing to give up their freedoms. And if you look back through history, whenever they want you to give up your freedoms, all they got to do is pump some fear out there and you get that shit up. That's why they wiretapping your ass. That's why they got unlawful search and seizure called searching, what they call stop and frisk. They do that. They did that shit in New York. That was unconstitutional. I'm going to get into it. You cannot do no unlawful search and seizure. And that's exactly what it is if you don't have probable cause. If I'm just walking down the street, you can't just come up to me and just search me because I'm a black man. They was doing
Wasn't the Patriot Act, they everything that was against patriotism?
Yeah. I mean, they had this shit. Like, I'm conservative, but I'm real fucking conservative, guys. I'm for the principles. Fuck trying to be Republican. The Republicans are on some bullshit a lot of times. I saw it with Trump with this shit that just happened. They stabbed him in the back. That's how this shit was able to happen. Republicans did that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But my thing is this. When it comes to our freedoms, man, the number one principle, and I've been trying to get to it, that you got to understand is the first thing they say is, look, let them have just enough. Give them a Section 8, give them welfare, give them food stamps, give them education. I said it, education, but don't give them no tangible assets. Don't give them what we give the small hats, the Zionists. Don't give them that. No, don't send them money and help them start businesses and military and shit and set up their own nation and shit like that. No, we'll never do that. But we'll give you just a little bit, right? But then when you start talking about real shit, and I talked about this the other day, I said, you ever want to see a racist liberal, all you got to do is start talking about real black empowerment, banks, businesses, wealth, and watch they damn clan sheets come out. Watch it. No, that's racist. But then when you want to do that shit for their trans friends, they love it. See what I'm saying? That's how you know this shit ain't really about black empowerment, right? But the thing is, when you want to come on here and you want to talk about freedoms, the first thing you need to understand is study how these motherfuckers move. Before you work, these are the freedoms that they're trying to take from your ass right here. I'm going to go into them in a minute once I let Ricky speak for a minute. But these are your freedoms, fam. They going to take them. They ain't no going to take them. They trying to take them from you. And they using this playbook right here. This is the playbook. They take your freedom. See, let me tell you something. They've known for thousands of years that if you give someone something, you take something from them. It is it's not like you just get some free shit. You give up something. They knew that if we gave you Section 8 welfare and food stamps, it would destroy your family. They knew that shit. That shit was planned. They knew what they were gonna do. They knew that shit. If you dumb enough to not understand that you will forever be fucked in the game, you gotta understand that when they give you free shit, as good as that may sound, free shit from a Machiavellian standpoint is never gonna be free banks, free land, free businesses. They're not gonna give you that shit free. They'll give you Section 8 welfare food stamps. And that's Machiavellian. Give them just enough where they'll stay loyal, but not too much. That's how they kept us in chains for these last 90 years with the Democrat Party. Is by giving niggas free shit. Black folks been voting over majority since FDR. He was an avowed racist, but they since FDR they was voting for this man because of the New Deal. So it's been 90 years, guys. 90 years that we've been loyal to the Democrats. People always talk about 50. No. That shit go way back further than that. Eisenhower was the only, I think the last guy, I think he got like 35% of the black vote. That was it. He was Republican. Other than that, black folks been voting ridiculously high. And that still left 65% Democrat back then. Black folks been voting. We don't really use critical thinking skills. We don't think, we don't understand power. And primarily when you get that shit up, you give up your freedoms. See, I'm conservative because I value freedom. Even if it means I'm sleeping under a fucking bridge. I value my freedom. See, a lot of people talk that shit, they really don't value. What's up, Ricky? What you got, fam? Ricky, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Yeah, here's the thing. What we're talking about today took me to, I studied the 48 laws of power, right? Basically, law number 40 is what I think our people need to be watching. Despise the free lunch. And basically what it says, and I'm going to read it verbatim, use money and generously, strategically to achieve your goals. Remember that everything has a price. Don't accept free gifts, but use the desire for a free lunch to deceive others. Use gifts to build a reputation of generosity, which creates an aura of power, and also to obligate people to you. I think that's what the Democratic Party has done to black folk.
That's it.
And right now, what we're dealing with in America is black people, they don't want to get off the tit of that Democratic Party. Because if you think about it, this last election, Jim Crow Joe and Kamala Harris didn't have to campaign on anything other than, oh, here's a black woman in power. Little girls ought to feel, empowered now. Little black girls can feel that they can achieve anything. Now, I'm sitting here giving all these arguments of why these two people were wrong for the country, and everybody was like, "You're just hating. You're just jealous. Why can't black women be in charge?" And I'm like, do they really have you guys that blind that you're not approaching this with common sense? Like, are you for real? And now I kind of understand how, from the outside looking in, we're viewed as a people. And, I was listening to your Brandon Tatum rant yesterday, and I was like, Brandon's getting his money from the way people are viewing us from the outside. He's just confirming the bias, and, from the inside, I'm like, will we stop giving this man ammunition to use against us? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, please, let's just stop giving this man ammunition to use against us, because it's like, if he could say this and he gets, because people vote with their dollars. So basically, somebody's out there agreeing with him on a whole. And right now, when I look at it, because when I was in Washington, D.C., one of the things that those white liberals said to me is, how can you hate your own people? And he had so many black people around him say, yeah, how can you be such a coon? And he was just sitting there smirking the whole time. And I'm like, hate my own people. So if I disagree with your stance, I hate my own people. Define yourself to me. He didn't have to do much defining. He knew he had those people, those black people around him fooled enough to where they would look at me, see the MAGA hat, and like, yeah, he hate his own people. That's
Let me
all
say this.
it
Let me
was
say
right
this. Let me
there.
ask you this, Ricky. Let me ask you this,
Uh-huh.
though. And this is the thing. Notice what we're talking about is power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about free shit. What the Democrats are talking about is free shit.
Right.
If black people really want power and they study that shit, they would then move away from the Democrat. You would move away from free shit unless it's something like free land, or because you'd be an idiot to turn down land, or something like that, where it was real empowerment, real tangible assets that you could use that have zero, that can be counted and measured, right?
Yeah,
That's
let
the
me have a
only shit I
business
would
in my
probably,
community.
yeah, free. Give me a free business. I'll take that, but I'm not gonna take no damn free $700-800 check every month, because what's gonna happen?
You're
You
gonna
be
get dependent on it.
you lazy. That, I mean, you're gonna become lazy. It breeds laziness, guys. They look, when you talk about the effect of Jim Crow and all that shit, I see the free shit they gave black people, right alongside burning crosses. That's how I see it. I see that shit like you burning a cross on my lawn. When they came to black people and told them, hey, we're gonna give you this free stuff, and you ain't got to do nothing. Right? That's like, it's like they burned the cross on our front yard.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see them do away with the NAACP and the Urban League, and I would like to see them instill, if they're going to do anything, give us the money, let us help our own people, let us build movie theaters, car dealerships, and get rid of all that other bullshit that we see in our community, such as, title owned places, pawn shops, and liquor stores. Let us open up real businesses in our community, coffee shops, bicycle shops, bike repair, things of that nature, because, let's build some bike trails in our community. Give us the construction companies that we can build our own communities. Give us the car lots. Give us
Hold on.
the
Hold on.
moving.
Let me tell you now, I like what you just said. I like all that. I want all that stuff. But guess what? They done fucked us so bad, bro. Go find a cat under 40 that can change some brakes. Go find a cat under 40 that works on a construction site and can, if you gave him a contract, he'll bill out what you just said. Back 100 years ago, cats was doing that at 17 years old. All the shit I just named. 16. My dad could build a house, drop a motor, rebuild a motor, do a he could do whatever. You name it. Drive trucks. My dad could do it all. My granddad, all of them could do that. They were painters. Well known. I go and tell people my last name. People ask me in my hometown, "Oh, you part? Do you have some older members in your family that used to paint?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, them guys, they was great. They were excellent. They did not fuck around. They were serious. They took that shit serious." Show me somebody today that has that mentality. Show me somebody today that is going to. And all I'm saying is the youth today don't have any skills. They don't have. They got rid of the shit in school. When I was in school, guys, half the day you go to school 4 periods. The last 2 periods, you would literally they would pick you up on a bus, take you to Trenton, and you'd be learning how to cut hair, how to fix hair, how to do cars, how to frame. And those people that took those skills in high school made a living. Now, I knew one of them guys, he went for HVAC. His ass is wealthy now. He got an HVAC company. Learned this shit free. Didn't even have to go to school for it. He learned it in school, because from the 9th to the 12th grade, every day for 2.5 hours, he was at Trenton Tech learning, which is a community college down the street, for free.
No, so back before integration, that's what happened with black folks in the schools. That like when they before 1969, the classes you could take in school was brick mason, auto mechanics, frame building, all of the stuff that when black people graduated from the 12th grade, they didn't need to go to college because they could make a living on their own. So the black communities were self-sufficient. You had your own engineers, you had your own architects, you had your own, and this is stuff they learned in high school with a diploma during segregated schools. So nowadays, I'm trying to figure out, where did that go? I mean, some of the older people, the older cats, they're retired now. There's a man who's 90 years old who works for one of the most prosperous mechanics here in South Carolina. And the only reason he's working for somebody else is because his son runs his business and him and his son don't get along. So he's 90 years old and they're changing oil, brakes, all that good stuff. And this is stuff he learned in high school.
I mean, dude, you look, I went to Tuskegee University. It used to be called Tuskegee Institute. I met old heads that went to Tuskegee and they went for fashion merchandising. I'm like, damn, really? What did they teach? And I asked him. He was like, man, they taught us how to make our own shit, our own. The dude's a tailor in Montgomery. He has his own shop and he just makes specialized shit. He charged $200 for a pair of slacks. But they gonna be sick. When he make them, they gonna be the best quality. Them bitches will last you 20 years.
Right.
I'm like, I'm talking about he gonna give you the best quality. He orders shit from all over. People come from all over the city and pay this dude. He's an older guy, went to Tuskegee. And he makes his own shit. He learned it at Tuskegee. You can't, that's what I'm saying. When someone gives you education, they're giving you indoctrination today. They're not, like I talked about that in the other video I did about the bastion of evil is the college and university system. I think most everything we deal with in this country comes from the colleges and universities. They are the cesspools of wickedness in this country. And if we take down the colleges and universities, our entertainment would change. A lot of shit would change. But because the college and university system exists, the first thing they do when you hit a college campus is separate you from your belief in God. That's the very first thing they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Separate you from your belief in going to church and believing in Christ. They gotta stop. They hate you if you do that. I went to battle in college with a professor, Dr. Fluker, Dr. Carcetti over there at Wallace Community College in Selma. He was busy in Selma, Alabama, little community college, trying to separate kids from their belief in God. Now he didn't have good results in Selma, Alabama. You just not in Selma. But
so let me tell you a funny story. My first year in college, right? I took philosophy. So I come back to my hometown of Greenville, South Carolina, woke, right? Woke. So I tried to pull that bullshit with my parents. One Sunday morning, we're getting up to go to church, and I'm laying in the bed. I'm college age now, so I'm grown. But I'm still living at the house. My mom says, "Get up! You ain't going to church today." I'm like, "Why do we go to church? Who is Jesus?"
Ooh. You see that?
My mom came up in the room. My mom and dad just looked at each other. They both was like, "Jesus is the reason that we can afford to send your ass to college. Now get your ass up. Come on, let's go to church." Now you go back and tell that professor that shit.
I mean, but the thing is, guys, like even whether you believe in the faith or not, the thing is this, man. It was the centerpiece of the Black community. People that didn't even believe in going to church, didn't even believe it. They adhered to certain principles that were biblical principles. Now we don't do that. We don't do that no more.
And it was also a place that we could fellowship together on Sundays instead of having to wait, because nowadays, when do families gather? At funerals and at holidays, and they can't stand each other. But back in the day when we all went to church together, we knew what was going on with each other. That was a way for us to get together. We'd eat afterwards. You didn't have to wait till holidays or till, the unfortunate of someone passing to get together. I mean, church was the staple of the community.
And not just that, the movie Soul Food, you see people everybody sitting at the table eating. When the last time you seen that?
It don't happen anymore.
I mean, people get their food and they all go in their rooms and eat. Right? When you had one television, just think about it. When you had one TV in the house, people were going to gravitate to that one room. And if you had a kitchen, everybody would sit there and turn the TV around and everybody would eat. I remember as a child, before my parents got divorced, that is how it was. We would all sit down and eat. And little shit like that makes a difference.
It does.
And the reason I'm saying all that, let me go out because I'm kind of getting off the subject. I wanted to go into rights and I got off into the power, but let's go into the Bill of Rights. I mean, because this is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. For those of you that don't know, the United States Constitution, right? The reason you need to care about your freedom is the reason that independent thought can come in my channel and say this shit she say about black men. Why do black men? I ain't gonna even read the rest, right? Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Some nigga fucked her, got her better, and she got her big ass on my channel talking shit. You need to be at the gym. I done told you. Reach out. I ain't got no email yet from you, independent thought. Hit me up. I'll make sure you get your gym membership so we can get you a man so you can be off here fucking with me. Hit me up. Now, because I know you need some dick. You need a good man with some dick that's going to take care of you, that's going to make you feel safe and bring that woman out your ass. That's what you need. You need some good dick. That's what you need to be, somebody to fuck the shit out your ass real good. And you'll be good. And then you won't come fucking with me. Like, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm finna go to work. I ain't got time for that coming in. I'm fucking with him. But when you got time like this, somebody ain't broke your back yet. That's the problem. But anyway, you backed up. You backed up, sister. You backed up. That's the problem. You need to come real hard. That's what it is. Trust me. Anyway, always fucking with me. All right. So the First Amendment provides civil rights protections to express the ideas through speech and the press. Press, freedom of the press, freedom of speech. It says to assemble, to gather with a group or to protest or for other reasons as they ask the government to fix problems. So if you want to protest in this shit, you want to talk about, so this shit is specifically, primarily, they talking about when you want to bitch about the government. But you can't do that now, see, because if I say something on this channel about the government, about this damn so-called pandemic shit that they did, that they shut down the world's economy for, then they'll delete my channel. So literally, you're like, well, this is a private, yeah, but yeah, they kind of got government protections for YouTube and Google. They want to kind of have government protections, but then they want to operate like a private company and just make root. So it's a gray area that they need to fix. They're not gonna fix that shit in the next 4 years. You better believe that shit.
That's why I started. That's why my producer gave me my own website so I could get on there and say what I want to say instead of coming on here on YouTube and Facebook and having to walk on eggshells because you're gonna offend the wrong person. And we do have an extra channel over there if you want to, get you a channel there.
Yeah, shit. Send me the link. I gotta jump over there and throw some stuff up there and get wild over there.
You can get wild.
Yeah. All right. So that's the First Amendment, right? So black folks, we using this right now, and we know we it's kind of like we intuitively grasp these concepts, but we don't know what they are and why. And somebody needs to kind of put them out there so that you guys can know or delineate what they are. Because if not, what's going to happen is somebody will come and take advantage of us. And I've seen people have their rights taken. Like with the Eighth Amendment, we talked about that. They literally taking our damn rights with that shit. I don't fuck with nobody say. When you hit me for $5,000 fucking dollars in one stop for some tickets, you full of shit. 3 tickets, it was $3,800 for 3 tickets. The rest was the damn lawyer I had to pay to keep them off my ass. Nope, that is cruel, unusual punishment through fines. That's what that is. Anyway. So that's unconstitutional, if you ask me, for a municipality to be charging, what a person, if I make $12 an hour or $8 an hour, it'll take me 3 weeks pay to pay that shit off. No, a person should be able to work 1 week or 2 and pay a ticket. At the most, a ticket shouldn't be no more than $600-700. That's if they make minimum wage. Right? So let's keep going. Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Now, this is a little bit more complex. They talk about a well-maintained militia with the Second Amendment. And they think that means that back then they didn't have a military. Now we do. So we shouldn't have we shouldn't have guns today. I'm going to tell you like this. It also talks about against a tyrannical government. The tyrannical government could be the federal government, which means the military, which means the police, right? You have a right, a God-given right, because you are born on this planet. You have a right because you are breathing to protect your damn self. Don't let the government come talking. See, they've done it in Chicago. They do it in all these Democrat areas and shit. And that's why they got these high-ass crime rates, because thugs don't give a fuck. They gonna break the law, they shit. Why they care about getting a gun charge? That ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, for some reason, you just don't bother me. You really don't. Anyway, the Second Amendment really is for you to protect yourself and to protect your family. And when they want to come kick your damn door in, they want to be able to kick your door in with impunity and understand that you don't have a gun. That's why you should be upset when the president tells you that you don't have a right to defend yourself, or the rights that you have are not absolute. Motherfucker, I got an absolute right to defend my child. I got an absolute right to defend those I love, myself. You just do. That right is absolute. Motherfucker, even against the police, you have that right. Now, of course, I would try to be within reason with the police, but if the police decide to do some fucked up shit, you could pull, what's that shit, David Koresh in the Branch Davidian compound? They had so much ammo, they ran their ass up out of there, they kicked their ass. The damn, what's the name, ran out of bullets? What was it? The ATF and all, they ran out of bullets. They said, shit, they was fucking them up. And them people wasn't doing nothing. All they was doing was congregating, and they didn't like that shit, so they tried to break it up. So that's the First Amendment, right to congregate or assemble. Second Amendment, they didn't like that shit either, right? And so these are just a few of them. Now, I'm not going to do all of them because some of them got to do with going to jail and shit like that. This one right here prevents the government from forcing homeowners to allow soldiers to use their homes. Before the Revolutionary War, laws gave British soldiers rights to take over private homes. They can come and just take your shit. Now, although this ain't the same thing, I don't like the rule they got where if they catch your ass on the highway with some cash, they can take it and you just got to explain that it's legit. That shit costs money. You got to get a lawyer, all that shit. So if you got, like, let's say $6,000, it's almost damn near not even worth getting it back. And they just see it. And what do? They take it and spend it. That's what they do. And you got to come prove why you, no, motherfucker, I can take this cash. If I want to take every paycheck I got, store it in and get it cash and store that shit in a plastic bag and keep that shit in my car, that's my fucking business. You can't just come take my shit. See, these are rights. And see, black folks, I think a lot of times we vote to empower government. Well, that has a byproduct. When you empower the government, they abuse it. When you give a motherfucker power, they're going to abuse it. That's what they're supposed to do. It's your dumb ass that wants to vote to give people the ability to abuse shit with you and fuck you over. I'm big on freedoms, man. That's why I don't like motherfuckers telling me I gotta wear a mask. I don't even like that shit. Let's go there for a second. I get mad when I done got into it. Guys, let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't know this. I done got into some knockdown, drag out, cussing matches with motherfuckers over not having a mask. I'm just telling you. I have. I had motherfuckers trying to tell me wear a mask outside. Like, what the fuck? I'm outside, the sun baking me. What the hell are you talking about, man? I'm good. I'm more than 6 feet away from you, and you got on a mask. What's your problem? Motherfuckers get scared, man. I get tired of that shit, dog. Tired of it. Sick of these people with these damn masks. Let me tell you something. You should not have, you say, well, your rights to freedom should not infringe upon someone else's. Okay. If I'm 6 feet away from you and I don't have a mask, what do you have to fear? Right? You don't have anything to fear at all. What you got, Ricky? Ricky, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I got the mic muted while you speak. Yeah, the Second Amendment that you went over, I was writing this down. There's a way that they get around that. So if you wanted to practice the Second Amendment, I don't know if you saw when I was in Washington, D.C., but it's kind of like when certain groups that I can't name on YouTube had showed up there, they deemed them as terrorist groups, when their mission there was to protect the protesters, to practice the First Amendment, because that Second Amendment of forming a well-regulated militia. These guys were operating within the law. They didn't carry any firearms into DC. They didn't violate anybody. They didn't start anything. They ended it. The whole mission on December the 12th was to have Antifa to beat up on the Trump protesters, and they got to the point that, and I got the video. I could show it to you, where the police protected Antifa, but allowed Antifa to go beat up on Trump supporters. There was a bounty on MAGA hats that weekend. And if the Proud Boys wasn't there, it would have really gotten violent. And, they said it got violent when the Trump supporters showed up. The only reason it got violent was that these certain people showed up in Washington, D.C., these certain patriots had showed up and protected these people so they could assemble there. It would have been a lot more sloppier. But when the news media got a hold of this, they called them racist, right-wing, white supremacists. As I've shown on that video, that these people were of all colors. They were Asian. They were melanated. They were white. It was a bunch of them of different, ethnicities, different backgrounds, different religions that came to use the Second Amendment to protect other people's First Amendment, where the police was actually trying to maintain. It was a controlled demolition what they was trying to do. And I got that on camera, and I got myself asking the police officer, why are you letting Antifa come over here and bother these people, but these people aren't allowed, these certain patriots aren't allowed to protect them, or you allow them to hurt the patriots, but at the end of the day, Antifa's running the streets here. They didn't have an answer for it. They just told me to call their captain on Monday morning. That Third Amendment where we were talking about is that, it's very unconstitutional, because when the North won the Civil War, that's exactly what they were doing to the South, which is why there's a grudge between the North and the South. And people say, well, darn, the Southern whites didn't care about Black people and they were racist against Black people. But do you know who else the Southern white people didn't like? They didn't like white Yankees. And their sentiment for the Yankees was very distinct. Well, you being from Alabama, whenever you say a Yankee, that that's worse than being Black in their eyes. So they tried to make it seem about just Black and white, but no, they didn't like white Yankees either. So it's kind of like, we got to learn our history to know how to empower ourselves. And the only reason, it's good you bringing the subject up today, because a lot of us are only taught by Houghton Mifflin, and we're not understanding the real power grab that's really going on and that has been going on. And when we try to grasp this, the white liberal, as you say, you'll see the fangs and the claws come out, because the first thing they'll say is, "Oh, you're trying to manipulate." And then on top of that, you have these what I would call double agents working within Urban League, working within Black Lives Matter, working within these different organizations that are so-called designed for Black empowerment. But I've been kicked out of Urban League before for actually talking about how can we get these Black men that are coming out of school their own business, their own channel. You know what I'm saying? Their own way of making money. They was like, no, we ain't talking about that today. And I'm like, well, why aren't we talking about this? So why do we never talk about this? I had someone come back and tell me, you're not supposed to talk about these things in these Urban League meetings. You got to know your place there. Know my place? Well, I thought the whole mission for you guys asking me to join Urban League was not just to give money or to hear people's sob story, but to resolve these problems. But come to find out that it was their white overseers that was telling them to get rid of me. But they were getting good money.
Yeah, and it's probably not white. When you talk about the Urban League and the NAACP, you talking about small hats. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I call them small hats. I think they do more damage. They are the termites of America. They are. I mean, they just, everywhere you look at the rings of power, you will see a small hat pulling the strings. That's what it is.
Black Lives Matter has a lot of small hats behind it.
George Soros being the top. You're right. You are right. And so this is the thing, man. Like, I don't want people to think that what I'm saying is go and be a do-boy for Republicans. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is protect your freedoms. And in saying the word freedom, you're gonna be lean towards the conservative or libertarian side. You're not gonna lean towards. I kind of like the libertarian ideals for the most part. I'm kind of iffy on the marriage thing, gay marriage. I'm kind of iffy on that. But
Mhm.
if they say government just completely get out of the marriage business altogether, which some are in the business of doing, then I'm cool. I can't be a libertarian if a politician gets elected and they want to take my tax dollars and give them to a drug addict because they own drugs and they need help. And no, if they want to put drugs in their body, that's their business. But it's until you take my dollars, and when you stop taking my dollars and giving them to people, then I'll be a libertarian. But as long as you taking my dollars and giving them to people, then damn it, I should have some say so in where it goes and what's going on. Otherwise, because I really think that the way the Constitution was written and the way government should have been set up, you shouldn't even been able to know that the federal government, they were barely visible. Like the way it should function, the states should be doing most of the work. It should be the states. You should be thinking government. People think of state, not federal. Federal, mostly the base job was to protect the borders and to protect that's it. Mostly
And they ain't
protect,
doing that nowadays.
they ain't doing that at all. That's their first job. Protect the borders of any nation. I don't give a damn if whatever paramountcy, whatever nation that has risen and crumbled and fell into the ashes, the very fundamental job of government was to protect the borders. And then as we started advancing with the Federal Reserve and shit like that, shit got a lot more complex. We think that we got highways because the Fed helps us. No, you got highways because your ass paying $2.50 for gas. That's why you got highways. They taking $1 of that shit and putting it and spending 25 cents on the roads and taking the other 75 cents and spending it where they want to spend it, or sending it to Israel. That's what they're really doing. But you think, okay, well, I got schools. Well, no, your ass paying property tax, and that's what's paying for your schools is the damn property taxes. Like, it's a lot of shit, man, people don't want to talk about when it comes to government, bro. Go ahead, what you was gonna say?
Yeah, that's why I lean more towards the constitutional conservative, and I made that decision over the summer of last year. That's what brought, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm really not a Democrat. I can't be a Democrat. And the Republicans, they had too much, fuckery going on to the point that I saw other Republicans defending Republican leaders even when they were doing wrong. So one day I had an epiphany, and I'm like, well, I'm more of a constitutional conservative. Why? Because and I was even telling, and when I first started broadcasting around this time last year, I was telling people that Fox News is even wrong in their stats, and there's a lot of Republicans that are wrong in their stats. So people wasn't hearing me. It took what happened to Trump for people to open their ears up and be like, you know what, that Ricky Mann was really on something.
But hold on, Ricky. Ricky, let me ask you something. I'm gonna be straight up with you. If the Democrats do the shit that they trying to do, I'm for really just saying, let's end America. Let's all separate. I'm ready for if Texas breaks away, I'm really seriously gonna talk to my mom and everybody. We getting our ass up, we going to Texas. I got a sister out there. If Texas leave, or if Alabama probably gonna be the next one to leave. It's at that point where I don't think we can coexist with these motherfuckers. Like, they so fucked up in the head. I don't think there's any hope for us to coexist. I just don't. And I think that there's a lot of propaganda out here telling people that is not possible or feasible for states like Alabama. First of all, Alabama is a very resource-rich state that people don't really think about. People think Alabama just old country backwoods ass state. Alabama, Mississippi, there's a lot of nice shit like lands. We got mountains, we got beaches, we got it all.
You got ports.
Yeah, you got all that shit. You do not need. You like, well, yeah, but you'll be poor. Alabama already got the infrastructure.
So does South Carolina. Let me tell you what I was thinking about doing, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I may lose, but I'm going to go up against this governor here in South Carolina. And one of my campaign slogans is to have people to say, hey, South Carolina, if the federal government keep up with their fuckery, we're going to succeed. That's what will happen under my governorship of South Carolina. And I would get with other governors and see if that's what they want to do as well. Do you know that I might win that election just on that alone?
Yeah, people tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of being linked to. I don't want to have shit to do with you. If you that stupid and you heading down the path and you telling me I'm stupid because I believe in God and I want to raise my child with his mom and I think it's better to have two parents and I don't believe in 150 fucking genders. I ain't got shit to do with you. We ain't linked no kind of way. You got your own nation. You go, do you think you just can just keep giving people free shit forever? Then go right ahead. I don't want to have nothing to do with your ass.
You
I
know what should,
promise you.
you know what should scare people to spend on this one? Yesterday, they voted for statehood for the state of Washington, D.C., just so that the Democrats could have 2 more seats in Washington. The District of Columbia is now a state. That should be scary. They pulled that off yesterday.
Because what they want to do is they want to load the Supreme Court and all. Look, it's time to get the fuck out of it. Like America's finna be like, this shit finna be over. It is time to break this shit up. Just like they say Diocletian with the Roman Empire, they say he split it. That's the only way you're gonna do this shit, man. Because I don't see this shit come. I don't think it's salvageable. I don't think this relationship between liberals and the rest of us, because I don't give a fuck what you call yourself. It's liberals and then it's everybody else. I'm just telling you, because liberals is running shit right now. You can say what you want. These colleges and universities have fucked us real bad. And it's almost like we're just now starting to say something about it. It's too fucking late. They done already took over California, Illinois. California's a beautiful state. I would live in California. Beautiful place. I used to go out there and visit my brother. Ain't no fucking way I'm moving out to California now. No way. No way. I go visit for a day or two and get the fuck up out of there. New York, same thing. Beautiful place, city, one of the greatest cities in the world, if not the greatest city in the world. Fucked up. They done destroyed that shit. Why would I want to go up there? I'll visit, but I can't live there. I would have lived there. Back in the 80s when I was a kid, New York was the shit. Now,
hell yeah, it was.
I don't want no way in hell. No way in hell. No way in hell. And when it comes to Chicago, duh, right? Do I want my child shot up in that motherfucker? No. So I ain't moving there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, they fucked us real bad in the 3 major centers. Off the top, every year in an election, Democrats got like 45% of what they need to win, guaranteed. All they got to do is get 5%, they're going to win every time. Well, it's over. It is over. It's time to separate. I'm really for separation. I hope Texas does it, because they talking. There's a lot of people in Texas talking about getting the fuck up out of there, and I'm with them. Go ahead.
I got a question. And this is something that I've been wanting to ask you about. That leaked Skype call between Jim Crow Joe and his pundits when he was saying that this country is going to be minority white by the year 2039. The 2 questions I have for you on that one is, first off, to be minority white, that means they're opening up the border. So if the country's going to be minority white, where the fuck does that leave us?
We're going to be probably the 5th minority in this bitch. We're going to be ignored and forgotten. That's what we're going to be. But they're going to lay claim to our history. Whenever they want some shit done, they're going to say, we shall overcome and no justice, no peace. But then they're going to forget black people. You mark my words. That shit coming. Black folks deserve that shit, though, as far as I'm concerned. We deserve whatever the fuck happened to us. We deserve it.
We're looking at that guilty verdict as a freaking football victory. Like, yeah, he Derek Chauvin, he's going to jail. Okay, that's cool. That's fine and dandy. Which I knew that was going to be the case anyway, because they had to calm black people down after last summer. But then so they could, re-sedate us into celebrity gossip and all the other dumb shit that don't matter. You had more niggas talking about Meghan Markle before they were talking about what's going on overseas right now, which should scare the shit out of us. China is taking control over the South China Sea. They're building islands. Their fucking Navy is way more powerful than ours right now. It was getting that way. And you got niggas talking about Meghan Markle.
Man, fuck Meghan Markle. I don't like that. Like your ass ain't claimed black till you got over there and they start fucking with you. Right. Now you black, kiss my ass. I don't care nothing about you. Every man you've been with been white. You've been trying to operate as white and pass for white your whole life. Now you black. Nah, I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got
They
nothing for
always
you.
want to come back home when they
Yeah.
realize that those white folks don't really care about them.
They
They
ain't
want
got
to come
nothing
back
for
home
it.
then.
And all these black women, they love Meghan. Oh, Meghan Markle, she's married to the prince. Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't give a shit about that. Fourth Amendment.
All right.
The Fourth Amendment bars the government from unreasonable search and seizure of individual or their private property. Let me say something speaking of private property. Guys, I think, is this it? Yeah, I think this is what they was talking about when they said that taxes are illegal. They talked about how it's unconstitutional for the government to take taxes out of our check. We so fucked up, we don't even know. It's like what did Morpheus tell Neo? You're born into a prison, a prison that you cannot see, feel, or touch, a prison of your mind. When you are born in America as a citizen and they give your ass that social security number, they plug you into the matrix and they just suck all the life out you. Guys, imagine if you had 25, 30% of your check you can keep. Instead of them taking that shit out your check, you drop that shit in a savings account. Huh? Talk to me. In an account that you like, instead of them taking it, just think about if you got an extra 30% on your paycheck every week. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, guys, I'm not the guy that wants just complete anarchy, but I think the government, I'm very anti-government for a reason. I think the government they seize our wealth, they seize a lot of shit from us. And so I think a lot of us don't really, and black people, we don't know. Because just like in the movie Braveheart, he's talking about, you know, we out here fighting for the scraps off Longshank's table instead of folk fighting for our God-given right to freedom, right? I love that movie. Love Braveheart. I don't give a damn what they say about Mel Gibson. I didn't expect him to love black people, so I don't give a fuck. I like it, right? Just like I used to like He-Man white. I didn't give a fuck. When I was a kid, I liked He-Man. I didn't give a fuck he was white. I didn't care, just like Superman, right? When you a kid, you don't give a shit. You just like Superman. You still, although I'm black, I used to imagine being Superman. I used to imagine being He-Man. I didn't give a fuck because he was white. I'm just being straight up. Now, black folks, I don't like him because he's white. Like, I don't give a shit, man. You that damn sensitive. You that damn weak. Superman ain't real.
Dukes of Hazzard.
No, I used to love that shit. We used to go and run and jump to my
Right? Everybody wanted to be Paul Duke.
What kid didn't do that shit back in the day, right? I wanted to be Street Hawk, Auto Man. Y'all don't remember Auto Man. You know what I'm saying? I used to love that shit, man. I didn't give a fuck. I used to love the A-Team. I didn't just try to be BA. Shit, I like Hulk. I like all of Murdoch was my favorite, actually. I thought Murdoch was crazy.
My favorite was Hannibal, and that's because he was the leader. B.A. Baracus came off as the trained attack dog. I didn't want to be him. I wanted to be Hannibal.
Exactly. Pee Wee Herman's another one. We love that shit, man. That's what I'm saying. We loved it. Why is it now in this day and age, we get so sensitive? Well, he's not black. We need representation. And I don't give a fuck. We make our own shit then. And make the shit hot. If it's hot, I fuck with it. If it ain't, I don't. It's that simple.
You know,
we got to raise the bar for excellence. And if we going to meet that expectation, damn it, we got to start talking about making our own shit, making our own moves like the Asians did. Look at the Asians right now. Look at China in their cinema right now. They kicking ass. Back in the 70s, go watch them old ass 70s movies. That shit was cheap as hell, low budget, but it was still good. I loved it as a kid. I love them damn movies. Right?
Well, my thing was, and this is what gets me. We got enough, and where you live at over there in Georgia, there's enough black filmmakers there. They're struggling, and we all have something in common. When I go over to Atlanta to meet with other filmmakers, what happens is we end up talking about changing the imagery, the dynamics, right, of what Hollywood shows us. Because nowadays, what we see in Hollywood are a bunch of buck-broken Negroes. Wesley Snipes, buck-broken Negro. Denzel Washington, buck-broken Negro. Will Smith, buck-broken Negro. And the list goes on. And I was a big fan of Wesley Snipes, especially after Passage of 57, because He was a martial artist. He was a good guy, right? Then they had to show him in a skirt. And I'm like, holy shit. So he's another buck broken one. What we were trying to do is get some things together, even if we have to take it to the internet, where we have Black representation that isn't mocking Black people. Something
Well,
that we
I mean, as much as you say about Denzel Washington, or I'm gonna say this, we got Tyler Perry Studios right here in Atlanta, right?
he's
You got
another
a
buck
lot
broken Negro.
to a certain extent. I think I see where you're going because he played the game with Lionsgate, but Tyler Perry, unlike the rest of them niggas, wanted his own shit, and he said that. So I respect Tyler Perry. But that being said, about Atlanta, period, it's our fucking fault. For the last 20 years, guys, if you go on Netflix and you watch, it's a million Black movies that have been made in Atlanta that are on Netflix, right? And if you watch them damn movies, they're all centered around what? Either a romantic comedy or they trying to remake Twa, right? Because Twa was the shit. Or what was the other one? Motives with Shamar Moore. It's either they trying to do a Motives remake, they trying to redo Twa, or they doing some sort. They want to remake. Two Can Play That Game and the Brothers. They want to remake that shit. Like we did that shit way back in the day, like way back 20 some odd years ago, damn near 1998, some of that shit. And Black folks still trying to remake them damn movies here in Atlanta today. Whose fault is that? Whenever Black folks get together, they want to make a damn romantic comedy because they understand now. I understand why they do it because dating is very some shit. You want to get Black people's attention and make a lot of money, talk about dating. We got people right now blowing up right now because they talk about dating all the fucking time. That's all niggas want to hear about. Date. I could do that shit. Most of my highest viewed videos are videos where I'm talking about dating. If I come on here and I talk about politics, we struggling to get 50 people on here. Yesterday I had 100 people. Why? Because it's all about other shit. It's not about trying to move forward. So it's understanding who we are as a people. And if you make a movie about a Black superhero, I mean, who you gonna go through? Michael B. Jordan did the movie about that little kid raising Dion, I think, and it was pretty good. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? But did you hear Black people? We don't even support shit like that. We don't. We supported Black Panther, but Black Panther ain't Black. Real talk. Written by white folks. White folks got every dime off that bitch. The only thing Black folks had, yeah, low paid actors, half of them was African. I'm just being straight up. And now that your boy dead, they're gonna replace him with an African probably. That whole thing gonna be African. That shit ain't got nothing to do with Black folks in America. I'm not shitting on Africans. I'm just saying it's not our film. It's not a Black film. It's not a Black American film. It is a African film, and it is a white film.
And these niggas walking around talking about Wakanda. I'm like, come on, we can build Wakanda. Talking about, yeah, we can build Wakanda. We don't want to build Wakanda because that's a white concept. Let's build our own shit. Let's go. Let's rebuild Tulsa. Fuck
but
Wakanda.
That's why I gotta ride with Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry builds his own shit. I mean, I gotta give him. He look, Tyler Perry. Why couldn't Eddie Murphy could have did this shit? Honestly, Kevin Hart could have did this shit. He's making a lot of fucking money right now. You've had a lot of Black people over the last 40, 50, 60 years. I'm gonna say since maybe the 80s with Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby. In the 80s, instead of trying to buy their shit, he should have started his own damn network. I just think people, if you want to take the class, guys, email me. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I just think a lot of people want to be, we'd rather, instead of us building our own ship, we'd rather come and be a part of someone else's. Because our ships are gonna be small canoes at first. And Black folks don't like that. Black folks want to be a nice ship. It's the same reason why integration destroyed us. Soon as we get where we can rub two nickels together, we running our ass to the white side of town trying to buy Gucci and Prada. That's niggas. We don't think, let me just buy and invest in our own shit. Like, that's why I like this shit about Master P. Let me show you what Master P did. This is Master P's little clothing line and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna pay for it. I was gonna buy them just cause they $300. I respect it. I was gonna pay for. I said, I'm gonna get me some money out of this for the hell of it, just cause some of these shoes kind of clean. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a black-owned business, and we don't support our own shit. That's why when P make a video talking about that shit, everybody talking about, oh, he full of shit. No, P right. We don't invest in our own shit, and so I don't think we take for granted what we have. Like we had shit during Jim Crow that we took for granted. We had movie theaters. We had our own production. We was making our own damn movies and putting them out and shit. They might have been low budget, but they were our shit.
Dolomite.
If we had kept doing it during segregation, had we just kept doing that shit, man, our shit'll be quiet. Today we'd have something just as big as the MCU. It'll probably be better.
Well,
because y'all know when we get our shit, when we get a chance, when we get on the even playing field, we show out. Anytime you get black folks, especially in entertainment, we all look at Beyonce. The reason Beyonce is Beyonce is because of Michael Jackson and Prince, right? If you go back before that, they didn't really give them a chance to do that shit. That's the thing.
Well, here's the thing that I was wanting to iterate on that one. The entertainment industry, right now, if we tried to do our own thing, because I'm in the entertainment industry, right? If we try to do our own thing, there's two things that's going to happen. If I brought on 100 brothers and sisters with the money, with the ideas, with the production equipment, the little hats will destroy us. Either they will kill us or they will buy us off. 9 times out of 10, they will come up with a price tag to buy us off. If we refuse and they don't kill us, nowadays they kill us on a cyber playing field. They own all the distribution. So basically,
but that shit, I'm telling you, especially with COVID now, motherfuckers going digital way more now. I think movie theaters, when you remove movie theaters, which I'm a big fan of movie theaters, I love going to the movie. But that being said, when you remove that, right now, it's really not like I ain't trying to be funny. You can do some shit self-contained. They can't really stop you. If you listen, I'm gonna give you a good example. You get a little bitty small, market of maybe, let's say, 100,000 people that are subscribers to your subscription service, and they're paying you $10, right? That's $1 million a month. That's a lot of fucking money for a production. A lot. Now, of course, you would probably start smaller and you would have to do it out your pocket, but you could create a subscription service. A good example. Let me show you something.
Oh, we're already there. When we're done broadcasting, I don't want to put it on over here on the interwebs, but we're already there. I wanted to get with you and let you know that we're already there. We got some stuff we're working on, and between South Carolina and Georgia, we taking over.
I mean, look at this here, man. This brother right here. This brother got over 1 million people. All he got to do is put his link of his website at the bottom of his videos while he playing them. He getting the views. He had one of them about the lesbian homie. I love that shit. Because that's how that shit be. They act like they won't come back. I'm like, all right.
Well, shit, look at Country Wayne.
Here go one right here. Yeah. This shit funny as hell. But he started messing with the lesbian, and then she mess around with a man and shit like that. And then she telling her friends they lesbians, but they coming in. This shit, look at that, 5 million views. Bro, if he put a link at the bottom, of this shit, and he ain't the only one. It's a bunch of black folks on here with big ass networks with over 1 million people subscribe to their shit. This dude making a hell of money, making movies and shit like that. My thing is, use this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit was funny as hell right here. He's trying to redo Jay Jackson.
What's up, y'all? It's Jay Jackson. What's happening?
And he be having some badass women up in his videos too.
I'm here with my beautiful husband of
but she beautiful.
years, Daniel. We never wanted to make a video like this. I don't think we ever even wanted to have a marriage like this. We took vows, and ultimately I defiled them in every way possible. I've had a lot of inappropriate relationships with men, with women, a lot of men, a lot of women. I was sucking. I was in bars, cars, closets, trains, basically. I mean, shit, I had a couple ran on me. I'm a runner, I'm a track star, all of that. Like it was bad. And I'm not proud of it. And I want to publicly apologize for my choices and my decisions. You know,
I mean, hey, she's sitting down. This motherfucker right here. Good Lord. Woo! Man, let me, good Lord. She's sitting down. I can see them dips in ass. But that, hey, I'm trying to tell you, boy.
She can catch a fish without a hook.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's not something that's because of my family situation.
Look at him like he about to throw up. This shit funny as hell. But this dude, he has an opportunity. I don't think he used. I don't know. I don't have to talk to him. I don't know what he's doing. But this brother, man, let me see. Oh, she on Instagram. Shit, I got to go take a look. Oh, she got her own channel. Okay, she got her own channel. Man, it's so many people out here doing shit like that. That's doing this. There's a lot of black folks. Like this girl here crazy. That's not her. It's this one chick. She's funny as hell, man. It's like one video where the girl, his brother, say, oh, she had a boyfriend and his sister came, but his sister ass was redonkulous. Like just, and she had this look like, what the fuck? That shit was hilarious. Loved it. Man, these people can build their own shit. I don't think they understand it. You don't need to be on YouTube. Right now, YouTube is free, so they're like, well, fuck it, why would I not build it up on YouTube? Because that's how we think. But once you build it up on YouTube, create some subscribers and create some specific content and funnel them that way. So when these folks, when they say some shit to you crazy or out of line, or when they want to come block your shit because you made a video about the small hats or the people that you can't talk about type shit, or you might mention some shit like that in the video and they delete your damn channel. Now you got an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, use YouTube. This girl probably making money. She probably is, but she just got started. Now she started 2 years ago. But she do little videos and shit.
Well, see, here's what I'm doing with my my news network. I'm out at the flea market, so I got my people that follow me handing out my flyers, in their cities and towns and whatnot, handing out business cards. And the reason why is because YouTube will only take you so far if you're doing what we're trying to do, and then you got to branch off because on the YouTube platform, yeah, the audience is here. But at the same time, like TikTok, I had close to 1 million followers. No, I had 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and because I was spitting too much truth, they kicked me off. So if I could do it there, just imagine going out and just doing it the old-fashioned way. Run out, give people business cards, sample products, things of that nature, and tell them this is the website to go to. There's no shadow ban here,
This girl here got her start. She got her start. Issa Rae. She got her start right here on here, man. And she wasn't doing half the shit she was like. She wasn't as big as half. She wasn't really that big, but she had this series right here. This is what gave us Insecure. I love Insecure. Love it. Love the show. But Awkward Black Girl. She started making little silly ass videos. And see, my thing is, like, you go to a HBCU like Alabama State in Montgomery. They got an ocean of kids coming in there majoring in drama, which I don't know why the fuck they're doing it, but you got kids that are taking drama as an elective, some of them, or a minor in the drama, and they really are talented actors, man. And they not getting a fair shake in Hollywood. So you could go and build your own shit. You got Tyler Perry Studios right up the street now. You don't need to be running your ass out to Hollywood no more. You know what I'm saying?
Hollywood's running their ass out here.
Exactly. So it's like right now, I mean, you in South Carolina, between South Carolina, Georgia, they're shooting everything is shot in Covington. Vampire Diaries, all types of shit shot out there.
I'm getting ready to start a project with Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts loved this area. Eric Roberts already done a film here, and one of the films that's on Netflix, I was a part of that project. I wasn't in it, but I was a part of the project called Black Bear. That was filmed all in Georgia and South Carolina.
Yeah, I like I said, there's no excuse for people for black people to be subjugated or relegated to where they are. let me kind of jump this subject a little bit while I got you on here. I think you will enjoy this video.
Okay.
So you're gonna probably enjoy this. This is gonna probably change the tone of the video.
All
So
right.
this is Jared Taylor, and you know what Jared Taylor's gonna talk about. He's gonna talk about us being inferior and shit like that. But check him out.
Hello, I'm Jared Taylor, editor of American Renaissance, and I would like to talk to you about racial differences in intelligence. I realize this is an unpleasant subject. Even if different races have different average IQs, why talk about it? The truth is, whites have to talk about it, if only in self-defense. In America and in every other majority white country, if non-whites, especially blacks, do not perform at the same level as whites, the inevitable explanation is white racism. It's our fault. But what if, on average, people of different races don't have the same IQ? Differences in intelligence are a big part of why some people do better in life than others. Could it be that blacks do poorly in school, for example, not because
I'm finna light into his ass because he's gonna make this long video about, and basically he's going to say that black people are where they are because they're dumb. They just don't have the capability, the intelligence to, be successful. They just are incapable of being successful. And what he does, he talks about the wealth of nations and how, the more intelligent people are, the more successful they are. Well, what I did yesterday, because this shit changes every year, what I did was I went through all these damn nations up here, and I went and used the UN. This was 2 years ago. I used the UN, right? And I went through all these people. And what I have right here, because this is a little research I like to do when I have spare time, sometime when I'm bored, I like to play with little shit like this. I'm a nerd, right? So if you come right here and you look at these nations and you look at all the wealthy nations on the top of this damn list, let's go through this list right here. So if I come here and I take Monaco, I don't think Monaco shows. Let's see, Control C. Let me take it over. You with me? You with me, Ricky?
I'm here.
Okay, so Monaco has an average IQ of 71. Monaco is at the top of the fucking list, right? Let's do Liechtenstein. Let's see. We're gonna do Liechtenstein. Let's see how smart they are. 74. Now, all of these are nations that are less intelligent than the average black person in America, because our intelligence is 85 on average, right? Let's keep going. Luxembourg, right? Because he keeps trying to blame intelligence as to why black people are fucked up. 93. So they're actually 2 points higher than America, because America's 91, technically. The average IQ of white America is 100, supposedly. We can go into West Virginia where it's like 99 or some shit and see how fucked up that is, but we ain't gonna go there, right? We got this right here, Bermuda. If there's a direct link and correlation between intelligence, you would see 70. Ain't nobody over 85 you done seen outside of one nation. Cayman Islands is another one. Let's see how smart they are over it. It's always then they will come with excuses. Enter. See there? 70. Where's this lack of it? Like everybody is lower than us and kicking ass. Switzerland's gonna be high. I think Switzerland's like 100 and something.
Oh boy, I got a simple solution to that one.
Hold on. 108. Okay. So Switzerland's the first one that's higher. Never heard of this nation. I think they knew. Let's see. Hold on. No. This is a part of China. There you go. 71. As you can see, there's nowhere where they can just say Ireland, 94. So they're higher than America. But average for black folks is 85. So just remember that. Everybody that's over 85 should not be on this list at this rate, or what, based on what he's gonna say, Jared Taylor's gonna say. Okay, Norway's higher. Okay. Iceland, let's see where they at. 90. Okay. They higher than 85. United States, that's us. Qatar is like 70. Qatar is 70. Intelligence ain't got shit. Oh, Qatar 91. I see 70 for in the other location. So they kind of tied with America. Okay. But that being said, the reason I did that was because you go down this list, bro. The first 20, over about 65% of these people are lower. Singapore is gonna be high. I ain't worried about that. I know Singapore high. Let's see. And so what it just doesn't compute. 98 for them. So Denmark is high. Australia's probably going to be higher. Let's see. We'll see. 104. Okay. Greenland. You'd be surprised, man. 90.
What about Amsterdam?
Oh, all right, hold on. I thought that was Belgium. Oh, hold on.
Belgium.
Yeah, it's you talking about Belgium. 98. 98.
Wow.
Let's see. So Singapore, Denmark, Australia, Greenland, Netherlands. Control. So you'll see, man, like I like to do little stuff like this. I like to know stuff like that. 100. Sweden. What they'll say is, well, see, okay, Sweden. Sweden is high.
I gotta agree with Negatron in the chat room.
What he said?
There's no proof that genetics plays the most important role in intelligence. That's still pseudoscience. Pseudoscience.
Well, yeah, but he goes and cites studies in this video. I'll give y'all the link to the video. Y'all can watch it on your own leisure. But it's just a little subject I like to cover. I love because I don't see a lot of black people combating this bullshit. It's very popular. Type it up on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about. Hong Kong is high, we know. Finland. $100. Okay. Virgin British Islands. See, so I see why he's saying that because I hadn't done it yet. I hadn't finished it.
You studied the ministry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at the ministry, look at where the ministry actually evolved from. But that's another rabbit hole. We'll talk about that in another video. But you know, to claim intelligence, we're talking about intelligence and adaptation to the power structure in their culture. Like, for instance, if I was to ask a 5-year-old black kid from a ghetto, what is he wearing to his cotillion? He's going to look at me like, what the fuck? What you know, because they don't talk about cotillions in the ghetto. What the hell does he know about a cotillion? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, unless you're talking about the Jack and Jill shit. So most of them, let me say this, I was wrong. Most of them were, but there were a numerous up in the top 10. There were a bunch of them that were below, way under 85, which is what we are. So that is no excuse to say like the UAE, United Arab Emirates, which is Dubai and all of them. I know for a fact they low. Now if they got them high, this is, hold on. I can find United. There we go. United States, United Kingdom. Okay, so they don't even got them on here. Let me see if it's UAE. I can find it. Nope. Uruguay, Guatemala, Guadeloupe. No, they don't. They don't. So I don't even see them on here, which is crazy. United Arab Emirates. I guess they don't have them on here. I know for a fact that shit is like low, like 78. It's under 85. But the point I'm trying to make, there is no direct correlation between success and intelligence. I think intelligence affects it, but I don't think it's just direct. Because if that's the case, the smartest people will be the wealthiest people. And it's not the case. I've seen some dumbass wealthy folks. In America, you got people, I'm gonna tell you something. The person that scores the highest on the ACT and goes to college and gets the degree and get the job, and are they moderately successful in their upper middle class lifestyle? Yes. Are they wealthy? No. When you're talking about wealth, it takes opportunity, stick-to-itness, and other things. And I think that rule transitions over to people like myself who weren't the most intelligent, but were persistent and just don't quit. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I think when people make up these rules about intelligence, I think what you really do is you really push the idea that black people shouldn't be held accountable. I don't think that's what he thinks he's saying, but that's exactly what he's saying. How can you hold a person accountable when they're too stupid?
Well, let me tell you about myself. I was a D student in high school. When I went to college, I had to take remedial classes. I'm a college dropout, and what I went to college for was art. That college wanted me so bad that they would put up with my bullshit transcript because I really didn't try in high school. I'm gonna be honest with you. But when I look at my life nowadays, I'm living a lot better than motherfuckers with damn degrees on their walls. And the reason why is because, I mean, when I got into insurance, everybody, people were like, "What the hell do you mean? You sucked in school. How the hell do you score the highest on the claims adjuster test?" Well, the reason why is because
I broke out. I broke down for a minute. My internet kicked off for a second. I don't know why it does that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the reason why I look at my life and I look back, I'm living better than a lot of people with these college degrees on their walls. And the reason why is because, I don't know, I guess I figured out the game. I'm more of a hustler than I am an employee. I can't stand being employed by somebody. I don't like somebody dangling my livelihood over my head. I lived that life before. I don't want it. You see what I'm saying? Where a lot of people, they go to college.
That's the point, man. I think when he makes this point, he's just doing this to make white folks feel good. Well, they tell us that it's race, but it's really because black people have a lower IQ. It's not racism. You just aren't intelligent enough to do this. No, first of all, I mean, let's look at it. Like average time spent on homework by race. This is the Brookings Institute study. I'm trying to look at it right there. If you come right here and you go down, man, you'll see it. You scroll down, man. Black folks don't study like that, bro. I mean, I hate to say it. Here we go. What does it say? Black people barely get like maybe 32 minutes a night of homework on average, whereas Asians do almost 2 hours. So when he says this shit, he's saying he's basing it on intelligence. I say this shit is culture.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot that factors into that because think about it like this. What time now, just drive through Atlanta, post, pre-COVID and see how many black students were at the bus stops, what time they were getting up out of their beds to be at the bus stop so you could pass them on your way to the office.
And another thing, I mean, let's look at it this way. When you take a black student, Thomas Sowell noticed this. He said, when you take black students and give them almost 2 hours of study in a night, they either perform at the same level or outperform Asian students. So if I'm stupid, and this is the whole premise of this video, or not this video, but this part of what I was saying. If I'm stupid and I live in, I don't know, Gambia, that's what they call it, or Senegal, and I hit the lottery and I take my child, son or daughter, to America, right? I'm not rich. I have an IQ of 70, which I'm damn near borderline retarded, right? I get to America. I get a job at a gas station. I know plenty of people like this. I mean, you see them Africans working these gas stations, a lot of them are lottery winners, right? They won the lottery. What they do, they work their damn kids, they whoop their ass and make them study. They create strong study habits, and their children outstudy these motherfucking Asians. And that is the number one reason why you will see when you go to the Duke Tips program. When you go to this program, I can show you these little Africans. You see Africans at that motherfucker. You don't see This it right here. I think this is. Yeah, that's it. That's why you see Africans, man.
Hey, I'm sending you a private message.
Surprised some of the students.
See there? Hold on. Let me go back.
Some of the students. It was fun tests.
Look at that. This girl is African. Let me hit play.
Surprised some of the students.
It was funny, I guess, because
See that? This is basically what they do. They so this is why these Africans go ahead and kick ass. I don't believe that is tied to that, because when they give it to America, they destroy every fucking body. This shit is impossible if IQ is linked to intelligence. Because if you take the average African, he's outperforming the average white American. And even the Caribbeans too. So that's bullshit. But they got these little nomenclatures of, whatever they call it, little subcultures where they teach this shit. And so I just like to give people ammunition when they say that shit, because we say that shit, but all you gotta do is look at the list of gross domestic products and shit. A lot of the nations at the top got an IQ lower than black folks in America. So clearly that's not it. It's not just that black people are stupid. And we built, if we really are not that intelligent, then how the fuck did we build Black Wall Street? How did that shit happen? How did we build Tulsa? How did we build Auburn Avenue? How did we build the 40 Black Wall Streets across America that we built?
Well, the reason why this is my thing here, and those I've been waiting to say this since we started this subject. The same way that they were destroyed, they have the fucking guns. They have the guns. I mean, how was Black Wall Street destroyed? It was a bunch of people with guns. When you got a culture, when we're dealing with this dominant culture, the only thing that gives the government more power than the people, the citizens, is the fact that they have the guns. If you have a community that have more guns than the other community, that's the community that has power. This is why last summer, and it really disappointed me, that I was actually trying to train people, to train our people how to shoot, self-defense, martial arts, things of that nature. And they were not interested in it. Even though they were seeing the nation crumble before them, they were still thinking somewhere in their mind that they were going to be protected by the government. And my biggest argument to that was, where was that, where did that mentality lead us before? Look at Black Wall Street. Look at Rosewood. Look at the Ozarks.
I don't think we thought that. I think we fought back. The World War II veterans and stuff. A lot of those brothers fought back. There's a place, Mink Slide, where in South Carolina, where the brothers actually fought back and held their own, because it was a crowd of white folks trying to come, because
but they had guns.
Well, yeah, but see, the World War, it was, I think the son had fought and boxed in the military, and so they brought the radio to a place, and the white dude broke the radio and tried to double charge or do some dirty shit like that. They got in an argument. And the white dude, I think he spit on the mom or some shit like that. And bro, they say that brother grabbed his white ass and dragged him out. And this is the 1920s now. He beat the shit out of him. They fell through the front window. They turning. The mama up there stomping his ass too, right? so you know how the shit go. They took him to jail. They said, okay, we finna lock their ass up. They took him because it's a lady. I learned this from this lady on YouTube from Emory. I forget her, black lady. And so they took them to jail. The angry mob shows up. You know how the shit go. Any Lynch story you read, that's how it always starts. A mob shows up at the courthouse, right?
Yep.
So when they mob showed up, some brothers, some business owners came and paid the bail and got them out, and took them and rode them out to Mink Slide, which is like this black part. Yeah, those Tennesseans, because it was Tennessee. And they rode them out to the black city. Well, later that night, a mob of white folks tried to show up, but the brothers was waiting on them because it was a bunch of war veterans, World War II vets, fought over in France and shit. And they knew where freedom was. And they fought. They sat up there and shot their ass, and they had the strategic and military advantage because they had the high point. You know that. They had the high point. They were shooting off them roofs and lit their ass up. Well, guess what? That was the story that Thurgood Marshall came down there and defended them and got them off. Oh, yeah. Black people, when we have guns, there's been a few times with black people historically, when we had guns, was able to protect ourselves.
And
I
that's
think
why I
it's
push for
this
black gun
generation that
ownership.
don't think like that. It's this generation that thinks that where the guns coming from? They bringing the guns in our name, motherfucker. You need a gun. Hell, you talking about? These niggas still gonna shoot, even though you outlaw guns. They still gonna shoot.
That's the thing. Okay, and this is gonna sound a little bit radical, but if they're bringing the guns into our neighborhoods, then we need to be using those guns to defend ourselves. Fuck shooting at each other.
I mean, but that takes intelligence, bro. Now that's where I kind of agree with Jared Taylor. I think when you it's not that you're not capable. You don't want to use your intelligence. I know some street niggas that are highly intelligent. I'm talking about we run circles around my ass. Brilliant brothers, right? But you want to be a street nigga. You love that street shit. Love it. And so them niggas don't want to stop. And I call them Planet of the Apes. They don't want to stop. That's what they want to be. They want to be out there on the streets, and they think that's what it means to be a man. So you ain't finna tell
They're
you're not
bullies.
you're not finna
They're
reason
bullies.
with the niggas. You're not finna reason with them. Man, I gotta go. I gotta get some work done, man. I enjoyed it, fam. Hit me up if you want to do another video or some shit like that later on. I gotta go. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good Friday. What's up?
Let me get this one last thing in. Those street niggas are bullies. They'll fuck with the people in their communities because they're weaker than they are, but they won't go against the power structure that feeds them.
I mean, you see that shit with Snoop when Snoop threatened that lady, he apologized. Snoop's supposed to be a gangster, and he's supposed to be a gangster. If I say something to Snoop, and Snoop see me on Instagram, what bitch ass nigga? I sent some niggas in Atlanta to kill you. That's the first thing he'll say. Right?
Right.
Me? Of course you'll do that to me, but you ain't gonna do that shit to Gail because she hooked in with the white folks. And you scared of the white folks. And you apologize. Right? They was threatening to kick your ass off, kick his ass off TV, and they fuck with your money, them small hats, because of Oprah and shit. Then they got the damn Susan Rice threatening to do. I'm like, damn, where all this shit come? You can do that, but you can't do that shit to help black folks.
Right.
When a nigga in trouble, you don't help a nigga like that, but you threatening Snoop because they fuck with your homegirl. Y'all ain't shit. I hate the Obamas.
Those are the true coons and race grifters.
I can't stand the Obamas. I can't stand Oprah. They get on my fucking nerves. I'll tell Oprah's story, American success, and all that shit. I like where she came from, but who she is as a person, I can't stand. Can't stand Oprah ass. Let me go, man. Y'all have a good one.
Easy.
All right, I'll see y'all.
All right, see you around.